color. Literal meaning of hue is color. Okay. Hue can also be used to epic numerical values. You can use the hues in it, which represents some values. So the colors which you give is, if you know the red, blue, green, RGB colors have some numerical values. Likewise, here each colors you represent in your graph have some numerical values. So that is the understanding here, and which is used as a continuous or it could be here. And here you can make your graph to be more clear and very attractive manner also by using this. Okay, hues can be used in that particular way. Where you are using your hue in a your variable. Okay, so that is what is here. So this is one of the sample which is provided here. It is not clearly stated, but if you see directly, you can read it. Okay, and you can also use a bubble chart to represent your variable. And the fourth option here is highlighting using annotations and color. So you can use some annotations. So you can use some annotations to highlight with the colors. So what is annotations? What do you mean by annotations? What are annotations? So annotations represents like some keywords to represent. Okay, so not the full exact word, we use two keywords. So that is what is annotations. So you have a good insight of the graph by all these options. Adding a trend line, having a third variable. The third variable could be numerical value or a hue, or you can have a highlighting through annotations. All these are the options to make your graph look very highlighted. Okay, so that is what is here. The thing you have to make it out. So this is what is. So I have used annotations here as any and MAR. So I have an annotation here where I will use the average points scored by the team, average points scored by the opponents. Okay, I have two variables defined in this chart where I have used the annotation called points for equal to points each. Okay, so this is how like you can make a plot to be more clear manner. By seeing it, you will be able to understand what is the scenario that is going on in the source. So that is what is that measure. Okay, so like this is what is the scatter plot, and when to use and how to use a scatter plot for visual analysis. So when to use and how to use. So like always remember that when to use and how to use depends on the application that we are going to use to represent the data points. Okay, so that is what is. For example, if you can help to see a connection between an ice cream shop sales and the average daily temperature. Okay, daily I will have a temperature pressure 1, but the ice cream shop sales will be also different. Okay, where I can use to represent this plot, I can use to represent. I can use this temperature of this particular day and the sales of that particular day. Sometimes if the temperature humidity is higher, the sales also would be higher, right? So that is what is the understanding here. Okay, it will not get like if the temperature is higher, the sales of the ice cream uses what is